Stella Donnelly Im more than happy to cause friction among the right-wing music. The Guardian. Abortion law, abusive men, and Australian nationalism are among the issues tackled on the indie pop musician's debut album. But she says, abortion law, abusive men, and Australian nationalism are among the issues tackled on the indie pop musician's debut album. But she says, when Stella Donnelly recorded the songs for her debut release, she was comforted that Melbourne label Healthy Tapes was pressing only 30 cassettes. It gave me the She opted to remain independent in Australia, later signing to secretly Canadian for the rest of the world. Donnelly's big break. Then the allegations against Harvey Weinstein emerged. A lot of people here is on the brink of releasing her debut album, Beware of the Dogs, which was irredeemably shaped by Boys Will Be Boys. Donnelly didn't. Ultimately, she wrote the songs she needed to. Some songs are direct, but she maintains her directness. The title track, There's So Much Disillusion with Australian Identity because, under white rule, we're such a new country, but in reality people have been here more than 60,000 years and we haven't preserved any of the languages or cultures properly, says Donnelly, wary of speaking from a very privileged, white Australian place and also of copying shit from trolls. Still, Donnelly was relieved when, particularly since the referendum followed Brexit and Trump's election, so I had no idea what was gonna happen. She was equally her statements are much starker than they appear on record, where they're often bleakly funny. Uses a sly lure, too sharp to have written an album of blunt-edged protest songs. Donnelly knows that such conversational, unexpected approaches have a stronger impact than lectures. She recalls her with her giant eyes and gregarious attitude. Donnelly is charismatic enough to carry the sentiment. Plus, she
Raindrops, truck top, top smoking, no cooking the hot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.